High yields on stable coins, yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi, get money on DeFi, mega cash on M.I.M.S. You better run when the runners run, show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton, crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run, you better run when the runners run.
Are you ready for the Bitcoin revolution? It doesn't matter if you're ready. It's here, guys. If you missed it and you haven't gotten joined, you better act fast. It is Tuesday, February 27th. You are running with the runners. I got my main man here, Ricardo Hamilton, a.k.a. Mims, making it make sense. What's going on, brother?
You better run when the runners run. Show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflating like bubble gum. Markets jumping like double dutch.
Let's get it.
Gold, silver, crypto. We got some. Hey, look, man. You know we fired up. Anytime what we've been sharing with people for years, and they're benefiting from what we've been sharing, and we're seeing the markets do what they are doing, and we know that we're still early to the largest wealth transfer in history. How do you not get excited? You know, that's some good news. I'm pumped up, brother. How you?
So, I mean, yeah, man, what a time to be alive. Okay. And this is my message, right? For this show. And we're going to get into all the details. The next year is when you need to focus on wealth and getting into and learning more about cryptocurrency. Okay. This is it. Put away everything else, put away all the distractions. Okay. Forget about vacationing. All right. Unless you're trading crypto while you're there. All right. Forget about partying. Put everything to the side. If you focus on this one thing for the next year, your life will never be the same and it's going to be completely changed. But I want to start with a little comedy night, Mims, just to lighten it up.
Yeah.
Remember when Bitcoin was just chilling at 22,000? And we were all bored. We're like, Bitcoin, what are you doing? And then it was just chilling at 42,000 for like a month. Okay. Well, when Bitcoin comes alive, it comes alive and just hits you right in the face, man. So you got to embrace those times when Bitcoin's chilling and say, I need to get more of it. Because the next thing, like, I did not expect this, Ricardo. I did not expect us to have $57,000 Bitcoin a month before the halving.
Yeah.
And I'm bullish. Like, I'm bullish. I believe in this space. Like, I learn it. I breathe it. I eat it. But I did not expect this. I'm not some crazy bulls. So Mims, I'm just taken back about where we are at here. And that's what we're talking about tonight, guys, is this super cycle. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But Mims, maybe if people are new here, just make it make sense to them really before we get into the meat of the content tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's new, don't feel like you've missed out. You know, one thing about Bitcoin, it moves the market. And as you can also see in that screen, we're in extreme greed right now. Greed index is very high. So the whole main purpose of being aware of when the market is up is so you can know to catch it when it's down.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to, because we will see it come down. We will see a correction. But it's good to see it goes up because that puts everybody in awareness. All right. And then when everybody's in awareness, they're getting more information on what's going on. And when they see the pullback, that's when they should be triggered to buy. Right. And we're looking at Bitcoin. So if somebody gets in right now, for them to 2x, obviously Bitcoin will have to 2x, right? But there's obviously a lot of other projects, altcoins, as well, that people can get into that they don't know about. That's why you want to run with the runners, because we let you know about these projects, okay, that are doing 300% in the last month, 400% in the last month and whatnot. But it's a great indicator, you know, for people who were fudding or uncertain. You know, you cannot ignore Bitcoin. And that was why that was a great slide, whereas people were either ignoring it or they're like, do something. And the next thing you know, you wake up and Bitcoin's at 57,000. approaching all-time highs. I think the all-time high for Bitcoin was what, 69?
Yep.
Yeah, about 69. I mean, so there were people who were all upset that they got in, in the 60s and 69s, however long ago that was, a year ago, whatever it was. But now we're right back in that territory with the Bitcoin ETF and a lot of different dynamics taking place in the global financial system right now. So it's good to see, especially when people need more money, more options, their money growing for them as opposed to it losing value because of inflation and everything else.
So I just got to point this out, guys. I mean, when we nail this, I just got to point it out. So here it is. This dip here on January 22nd, when Bitcoin dipped to 39, we did a video called "The Dip You Have Been Waiting For." Your final chance to load up on crypto. Okay, and just so people, can you see that, Ricardo? Yeah. Okay.
YouTube Studio. Mm-hmm.
There we go. So this is the video.
Maybe zoom in. Okay, you about to click on it.
Yeah. Let me just open it up just so just so I can document this, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. This is 1 month ago. Okay. On that exact date, and it's called "Your Final Chance to Load Up on Crypto." And the title of the video was "The Dip You Have Been Waiting For." And it was literally on that exact date right here. That's a Tuesday, January 23rd. You can look on Ricardo's YouTube or my YouTube. That was the dip. Okay. That was your last really good chance to load up. Like Ricardo said, you haven't missed the boat, but that was it. And I thought there might be one more, but it does not look like that anymore. And we're going to get into why that is tonight.
It's moving.
Let me start actually here. Okay. There are so many things that are different this cycle. Bitcoin typically runs on a 4-year cycle. We've covered this many times. Okay. But now there are other externalities adding on to this fire. Okay. Like typically a bull run is like a fire. And now we're bringing out gasoline and kerosene and nitrogen and nuclear bombs on this fire. Okay, this is the spot Bitcoin ETF that's basically been around for less than 2 months. February 26th, $516 million in 1 day flowed into Bitcoin. Now, why is this a huge deal that we got an ETF? Okay, I think people are still not grasp how huge this is. Okay. We love gold. We love metals. We're not saying do not buy gold and silver. Keep buying gold and silver. But look at what happened here when gold got an ETF. It was only about 20 years ago. Gold, this amazing real money that's been around for over 10,000 years, finally got an ETF. The price of gold was $400 when the ETF was approved. We will never see that gold price again. And I did not believe this until I saw this last big run. I don't think we will ever see this Bitcoin price again. The amount of the time it's going to come back, retrace 80% is probably gone. So gold, Ricardo, goes on a tear from 400 to about 1900 over how long was that bull market? Almost a decade to 2011-ish, 8 years.
Yeah.
And then the dip just came back to 1200. That was it. It never came back here. It dipped once to retest the high in 1979, and then it's gone, guys. So I'm just telling you, I don't like to hype things up a lot, but the amount of data I'm seeing and the events that have never happened before, Mims, I'm just flipped super bullish now. I think we're going to a super cycle that could have unfathomable. I mean, I'm seeing, just to get your take on this, Mims, I'm seeing legitimate people, like real financial advisors, real big firms saying we could be looking at $500,000 for a Bitcoin to 1 million. And I used to always like think those people were crazy, but at this point we cannot discount them. Your thoughts on that, Mims, and this Bitcoin super cycle we could be looking at?
Yeah, I mean, when you know what makes it so exciting is when you really understand that we're living in a collapsing financial system. And so people are looking for yield. People are looking for ways to grow or preserve their wealth. They have to convert the lie for something that is of value in the new financial system. And the lie is the paper money and its role in the future, the dollar, and its value in the future. And so when you have massive amounts, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, quite frankly, coming in with the Bitcoin ETF, it's not hard to see Bitcoin going to 500,000 or 1 million when you understand tokenomics and understand that there's only 21 million. And then at the halvening is coming, and all these dynamics put in place, and along with just with everything that's going on around the globe and the economy, everything is in alignment. I talked about it on a previous live stream, but everything is really in alignment for the largest wealth transfer in history, which we know the time that we're living in is now to take place. The data is there, and then now when you look at, there's about 20% of people in the United States that's in crypto. Okay. As we start to see more mass adoption come in, okay, it's just going to explode the space. There's only 4% of people worldwide that's in crypto. So as you start to see the financial system change over and get involved into blockchain, because that's what people really need to understand when they're like, well, I don't understand the Bitcoin, I don't understand all these cryptocurrencies. Really start to study and understand what the blockchain is and the blockchain's role in the global financial system and how it allows us to go from, Web 1, Web 2, from reading and writing to now read, writing, and owning.
Yes.
Having ownership.
That's huge.
Okay? It's once you understand this, then you realize how you can become wealthy. How you can escape the 40-40-40 plan, the rat race. It comes down to you exchanging the liability for something of real value and being ahead of the curve.
Absolute fire, Mims. If you guys are watching tonight, okay, like the video, drop us a comment, share this, send it to people, tag them. We are just trying to get this information out, guys. You probably have 2 to 3 months max, okay? You need to be in before June or you will be the sucker, okay? You need to start paying attention to this. There's very simple ways to make this happen. So here's another one that's huge. And again, we love gold, we love silver, but you're seeing this new revolution. There's $40 billion in Bitcoin ETFs. It's been around for 2 months. There's 92 billion gold in ETFs. It's been around for 20 years. Well, actually, that's after 31 trading days. That's a month. Bitcoin has a third of the ETF of gold after 1 month, and gold had 20 years. Now, I'm not telling you guys to buy your Bitcoin or a gold in an ETF at all. Okay. But these are what the normies are doing. This is traditional finance, Wall Street, massive institutions, hedge funds. I mean, you name it. Family stuff that, normally can't get into this with huge trusts. We want to teach you guys how to own the physical product. Okay. So you don't have to trust in these institutions. But I mean, they're coming in, Mims. So your take on what this means for this new adoption and why people need to take action.
Yeah, I mean, so one other thing, there's always like a catch-22. They want to corner the market. Anytime they get in this space, which it's a catch-22 in the same as us, is where we don't want to be affiliated with them, but yet when they open up their doors and bring in the capital, it boosts up our assets and our wealth, which I guess what really matters is what do we do with the money versus what they're doing with the money and the wealth, right? But they're going to corner the market and manipulate it, and that's what they want to do, and they will do that same way they've done with gold. But we know for a fact, J.P. Morgan and central banks have been caught rigging the precious metals market, rigging the value of gold and silver down, right? And they've had 20 years to work at it with short selling, naked short selling, and everything else. Well, they haven't had that time to do that in Bitcoin yet, but they're definitely doing it. But right now, those of us who are here early enough, as they move these billions of dollars into this space, and your wallet, your assets, your wealth is going to increase. It's going to increase. There's just so many dynamics going on right now, and especially just when you put it against a fiat currency reset globally, and now individuals, institutions, governments, banks needing to conduct trade and commerce, and use blockchain now, and no longer use fiat in the SWIFT system. We're so ahead of the curve. It's mind blowing. Yeah.
What's up, Brandon? Good to see you watching, brother. Debt box to the moon. Don't worry, guys. We have the debt box updates coming. I did want to kind of break down. I had somebody mention this, and normally, we just look at the top 8, right? We're like, okay, the number 1 asset in the world is gold. All right, get physical gold delivered to your house, of course. Silver is number 8. Get physical silver delivered to your house. It's the most undervalued asset in the world. We've probably said that 1,000 million times. Okay. But let's analyze this a little bit more, Mims, right? You got Microsoft technology, Apple technology, oil. Of course, we're going to keep using oil. NVIDIA is huge with computer processing and AI. Amazon delivers. Google's a tech stock. Okay. But all those things have lots of risk to them. And Michael Saylor is going to talk about this later, right? You have lawsuit risk, who's running the company, trends come and go. But 2 of these things have been around for 10,000 years. The other ones are good, but, there's some risks there. And they, you can't really have no risk when you own Amazon or NVIDIA because something could happen. But then you got Facebook. Okay, technology, Bitcoin at number 10, which I thought it was funny. It's over Berkshire Hathaway now, since he was so anti-Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And now Bitcoin has beaten his whole company.
Yeah.
Tesla and all that. But this is what surprised me, Mims. Look at where Ethereum is.
Oh, wow.
You got Walmart at 19. It went up 70. I think they did a stock split or something. That's why. But Ethereum, which, unless you're into crypto, a lot of people don't even, barely know what Ethereum is. But think about this. There's almost as much market cap in that as ExxonMobil, MasterCard, the Vanguard, S&P 500, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Home Depot, Samsung, Costco, Toyota. I mean, these are like huge companies, Nestle, Bank of America. Netflix, Coca-Cola, it's been around for like 100 years.
Wow. Yeah, I was putting
and then you have this number 2 Ethereum that's overtaken those. I'm like, this is it. This is your goal. Like, Willy Wonka just gave you a golden ticket. Are you going to take it, Mims? What are you going to do with that golden ticket?
Yeah, I mean, it beat out Vanguard. I mean, and so it's like, well, almost. They'll be coming off the Vanguard here, but it's an indicator. It just shows you where the value is. So even if you don't really fully understand it, there's a lot of people who do, and they've moved a lot of money into it. And so if you have discretionary income and you want to take advantage of it, you can see that there's value in there, and that there's a lot of people moving into that space. And then obviously we see what the ETF is doing. What's very exciting is that we see what the Bitcoin ETF is doing. But what do you think is going to happen with the Ethereum ETF?
I didn't even talk about that. Yeah, you read my mind, but go ahead.
What do you think is going to happen with the XRP ETF, which is coming? Okay. Know what you hold. Okay. So we're still early to this. We don't feel like I've missed it. Don't feel like it's too late. You have no idea. The corporations are sitting on trillions of dollars overseas that they didn't want to bring into the United States for tax purposes. There's just derivatives market. There's trillions of dollars out there. I mean, even when you look at the market cap for Bitcoin, I mean, what is it? What's the market cap? I mean,
about 1.1 billion.
That's nothing. That's
trillion.
No,
I'm sorry, 1.1 trillion, which is still nothing.
Yeah, it was just that's what I'm saying. Which is,
So
I mean, even
of gold.
Yeah, people talk about the forex market and the trillions of dollars that trade per day and that and things of this nature. It's a trend. You just want to catch the trend. You want to see where the trend is. You want to see where the movement of money is, and you want to get between that. And the beautiful thing about what we have here now is that you don't have to be an accredited investor. You don't have to go down to the Klaus Schwab's. Yep. You know what I'm saying? The Fidelities and these people, like, you can create a wallet yourself and just
revolution.
Let your bank account buy. We are the
bank.
We are the bank. We are the bank. So there's so much innovation taking along, and then with AI, I'm just telling you that we are going to see humanity evolve in a rate that could never have been imagined because of the advancement with fusion, energy. We're talking about energy with the advancement in AI, robotics, quantum computing, automation. This stuff is out here. It's real. There's stuff that they're already ready to roll out, but they can't roll it out yet until this present system collapses. This old infrastructure collapses. Okay. But once it's done, once the dust settles, all this stuff is done, the rate at which humanity is going to evolve, it's like everything we've done in the last 200 years is going to happen in 10.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the super cycle.
It's going to be crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason watching. He is the debt god, right? The debt leader who is leading us all through the wilderness as we've come out and beat the SEC. Decentralized nations are forming at a rapid rate. That's exactly what blockchain really is a decentralized nation. The question is, are you watching this happen or making this happen for you and your family? Dude, absolute fire, Jason, 100%. Yep. And Kingdom Wealth Coach.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was trying to say, but I forgot that. Yep, precious metals has no counterparty risk.
Okay, yeah,
that's the big difference.
Yeah, that's God's money. It's the counterparty. Yep. Bet on God all day. Okay, it's God's money. God, gold and silver is mentioned in the Bible from Genesis to Revelations hundreds of times. Okay,
over 400. Over 400.
Over 400. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, so this is the thing that why I get excited about the information that we're sharing is because you're never going to have anybody upset that they bought all this silver and gold and all of a sudden it went to zero.
Right.
It's gold and silver. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay. That hasn't happened on this planet where gold and silver hasn't had value.
So I just got to point out this week, Ricardo. Okay. Obviously we're not big into meme coins. Okay. Pepe, at least Pepe is one of my favorite meme coins. I think I bought $100 of it at some point. I don't remember when. But if you look in the top left of our screen, it's Theta. Okay. Yeah. And I didn't sell Theta. I staked my Theta all during the bear market when it went down to 60 cents or something. Because I believe in it long term, and Theta came ripping back this week, going up 61%. And then, of course, we've told you guys about our Gala nodes, okay, that we bought 2 or 3 years ago. Still producing Gala every single day. We taught you guys how to get into DeFi and get the free Uniswap airdrop, and now they're paying out basically dividends for holding that token. So again, guys, you have to have a long-term mindset and actually get educated and take action when we try to teach you and educate you on these platforms, but just an amazing week for those people running with the runners.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're getting excited about it, but I mean, on the blip or on the real radar or the scale of things, it's nothing. I'm just telling you right now. I mean, looking at 60%, 50%, it's nothing. I mean, even, you know, when we looked at Theta at what was it at, 4 cents or $4 or whatever it is. I mean, Theta got to $14. You know, the gains are still coming, folks. There's massive gains to be had. So yeah, I mean, convert the liability, that paper money, into some assets so they can grow for you and you can be more financially secure.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we shouldn't look at price for metals or crypto, but more on protection from any crisis. It's a way to decentralize and diversify, have no counterparty risk, and take the power back from the corporations. That's what's key about this.
Yeah.
Is we're taking possession.
Yeah, and what I'll say to that is, yes, the big picture, price is irrelevant, right? When you know what you hold. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I can get Bitcoin or gold and silver at a cheaper price, I'm going to do that. And so I don't know if we're going to get into that, but you know, we always are looking for ways to accumulate these assets at the best time. Whether it's Bitcoin, we're looking at the chart and we're trying to see where's the next support level. See, right now we're in a breakout, okay? But anything that goes up must come down. So we'll look for the next support level, maybe to buy and get in. Not necessarily buying at the top. Same thing with precious metals. If I'm getting precious metals at one place and then at the other place, there's no premiums, there's no markups, I'm getting it at the best price, okay? I'm going to go there. So, you know, this is the thing about timing. You know, they say it's about timing the market and time in the market, you know. So it does matter, you know, when you get in, and you want to make sure that, you know, obviously running with the runners, because we're going to help you get in at the best time and of course get in at the best price.
If you guys know of or anyone thinks they can provide more value, we would love to do a live with you guys, because I watch crypto people go on like shows with millions of viewers, and they're like saying things that we told our team 3 years ago. So, you know, our results speak for themselves. But I was doing some research today, Mims, and I came across this Michael Saylor video. It's about 2 minutes. Okay. If you guys don't know, Michael Saylor is a CEO of MicroStrategy, who basically he went all in on Bitcoin like a year ago or more. And their entire balance sheet is on Bitcoin. So he is making every other CEO company look ridiculous with what is going on right now. So this is a short video. I wanted to get your reaction, Mims, because he just nails it here about this Bitcoin super cycle and what this means for the fate of humanity. I mean, this is literally changing the entire world as we watch it.
Going to manifest itself. It's going to drive the price of the asset up. Right? First of all, because the people that own the asset aren't losing 1 or 2% of their money every year. But second, because there are a lot of people that they will either invest $1 million in it or nothing. Right? So if I like it, I'll just invest $1 million. If I don't like it, I'll invest nothing. So you start to see money flowing from gold into Bitcoin, from real estate into Bitcoin, from the S&P index into Bitcoin. And so that's a big deal. So the launch of the ETFs, it's been very successful. This is the ideal type of asset to put into an ETF wrapper. It's definitely it's the global asset. It's the biggest brand. Everybody knows what it is. It's actually the best thermodynamically sound investment. It's got the best historic performance. And of course, it doesn't have the entire array of risk factors that a company has or that a bond has. It doesn't have credit risk. It doesn't have corporate execution risk, you know, and it doesn't have currency devaluation risk.
So that's what I was talking about earlier, Mims, is all those stocks. Yeah, maybe they've been around for a while, but there's huge risk there that you have to take into account. And then I wanted, of course, to give MIMS the chance to MIMS the dollar's purchasing power. If I hope to God, I pray we don't have runners out there still saving in dollars, but MIMS, go ahead and make it make sense.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Saylor's on point, obviously. And when somebody says something and then what they say comes to fruition and you can see the results of what they said and the actions that they've done, you have to listen closely to an individual like that, especially when they've had some foresight. And Michael Saylor is 100% correct. A lot of the variables, the liabilities, the shortcomings, and other similar assets that he's mentioned, it's not there in Bitcoin. Okay. And we talked about it earlier. And then, of course, one of the major reasons why, Bitcoin and metals and things of this nature are so attractive right now is, like I said, we are literally living in the most significant time period in history. We are living in the collapse of the Roman Empire 2.0. Okay. Like we're literally living in the collapse of the dollar. This is the collapse of the financial system. And so you can see the purchasing power of the dollar over time continues to be worth less and less and less. And this is why people are trying to figure out, well, why is it so hard to maintain a decent standard of living? Why am I working so hard, but I feel like I'm not getting anywhere? Why are the price of eggs so high? Why is the gas so high? Why does the rent keep increasing? Why is my electric bill going up every year? But my income doesn't keep up. So you see, the system was rigged. It was set up like that from the beginning when we had the central bank, the Federal Reserve. But once we talk about this system is now coming to an end, and Bitcoin and blockchain and metals, these assets, that's what we're returning to. So the dollar is going to continue to lose value. And I don't know if you was going to pull this video up, but there's a video of the president of El Salvador. I believe it's El Salvador. And he's breaking down essentially why the world is no longer wanting to use the dollar, because they woke up to the reality that the bonds is what the Federal Reserve buys, and they print dollars. And what's backing the dollar is the bonds, and they're just creating this money out of nothing.
Yep.
And we're paying taxes when they can just print more money. That's what they've been doing. And so a lot of people are waking up to this. So they're dumping treasuries, they're dumping dollars. There's literally de-dollarization taking place around the world right now. There are some countries you go to, they won't even take your dollars. We were in Barcelona, Spain, Mike. I pulled out 100. I pulled out $100 bill, put it on the table for her. You know what I'm saying? She was like, "What am I gonna do with that? I don't want that." Okay?
I can still remember the look on her face. She's like,
Yeah. Like, what
am I gonna do with that thing?
Right. What is it? They don't want the dollar, folks. I'm just telling you right now, America's not what it used to be. I know that we went to school and we were told this, but I'm telling you, the reality of the day of what we're in right now is a totally different reality. And the sooner you wake up to that, the better, because then you can start to make more strategic decisions for your life and your finances.
Yeah, and Jason makes a great point here with where inflation's going. I even saw, maybe it was in New York, in SoCal, I saw $20 Big Mac meals. Like $20 to go to McDonald's and eat some crappy, not even real meat, processed with probably poisons in it. You want me to pay $20?
That's crazy.
For a Big Mac burger or fries and a drink?
That's crazy. It's crazy. I've done plenty of videos where I was in Five Guys, and they have front of a magazine where Five Guys was the best $5 burger around. Now you go to Five Guys, you ain't spending no $5. That thing doubled, tripled in price.
It's probably close to 20 now. It was I went there like 2 years ago. It was like $16-17.
Yeah. And so you have and the reason that is, most people don't realize, is why is the prices of things getting increasing, is because the purchasing power of your dollar is losing value. The purchasing power. That's what people don't consider. What is my dollar? You see, a dollar today is not the same dollar in 1980, 1990, 2000s. It's not the same dollar. It might look the same, but what is the purchasing power of their dollars at that time. What did it get you? As time goes on, the same amount of money is getting you less and less and less. And then when you throw on shrinkflation, okay, where you're going into the grocery stores and the box of cereal, it used to be 75% full. Now it's 50%. Matter of fact, I saw something on TikTok where people are taking laundry detergent and they're in their store and they'll take another laundry detergent, open it up, fill the laundry detergent one that they're going to buy, okay, because it's so short. You know, it's like 30% full, 40% full. Now, for one thing, that's stealing, okay? You don't realize that. But the point is that
now what is stealing, Mims? What does that mean?
No, I mean, but the point is like it's getting crazy. People are feeling it, they're seeing it, but now we're actually able to articulate it and know what it is and point it out. And that's the difference. You know, more people are waking up to that. So yeah, the dollar is not for saving. It's not a savings instrument. You don't save dollars. The dollar's for spending. You save your money in God's money, gold and silver.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, one more minute here.
And it doesn't have the physical risks of real estate. It's not going to ever get hit by a bolt of lightning. There's not going to be a tornado. It doesn't have maintenance decay. It doesn't have property tax risk. It doesn't have the political risk. Right? Ask yourself the question, you got $1 billion and you got to buy some real estate in Africa? Where? And where do you want to invest $1 billion in a building? What country? What city? Where? Or you can buy Bitcoin. And of course, so you can see this is a higher quality thing. What was Bitcoin's number one liability coming into 2024? It wasn't the risk. It wasn't the thermodynamic risk factors. It wasn't the technical capabilities. The number one risk factor of Bitcoin coming into 2024 was a government would ban it. But see what just happened in January? The opposite, right? So most of the FUD around Bitcoin is, oh yeah, it's too good to be true, and because it's too good to be true, the government's going to hate that you bought it, and they're going to take it away from you. And with the approval of these ETFs, it was the government of the most powerful country in the world, the United States, which is actually the leader of financial regulation. I mean, whatever the U.S. does will influence Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, all of the EU, even Hong Kong, even China for that matter, and all of South America, and all the African regulators. So everyone's looking to what happens in the United States. This was a very powerful signal. So that was a bullish development. There was a little bit of weakness following, and
all right, we won't get into that, but I wanted to pull that clip, Mims.
Yeah.
Because there's so much risk involved with other forms of investment, and your upside is so little. This is really the first time in history we've had an asset that has the acceptance of the regulators and the governments that's still early in its development, that very few people have exposure to, that has a huge upside. That's why I'm saying this next year, you need to take massive action to get educated, okay? To train yourself. Get every single piece of extra income you can into this. At least that's what I'm doing, okay? I don't care what you got to do. Go and sell your kids video games, have a garage sale, start doing Uber Eats, deliver some pizzas, go Dave Ramsey on this, but instead of paying off debt, get more cryptocurrency, because this is going to be absolutely mind-ripping when we go into this super cycle.
Yeah, there's a lot of wealthy people who know what they're doing. I just heard, obviously there was a family a few years ago that sold their house and took all their money and put it into Bitcoin. And they're sitting pretty today. I just found out there's another wealthy person who sold his $800,000 house and put it into XRP. There are people who know what's going on, and they're looking to get in and get in now. And a lot of times you want to find the undervalued opportunity, you know, and that's why, you know, when we talk about silver at $22 on the market is ridiculous, folks. I
Back up the
can't
truck.
scream loud enough how massively undervalued physical silver is. It is still over 50% from its all-time high. And you have massive money printing. You have governments and banks and institutions, you know, now having to adhere to Basel III now, the Bank of International Settlements, monetary policy and standards, rules and regulations and things of this nature. Silver, an industrial metal, okay, used in solar panels, healthcare, everything else. So a lot of times when you see something going up, like if they put something in the news, it's something else going on. You want to find that opportunity where people aren't talking yet, because eventually they will be talking about it. And so that's what I look at when I look at precious metals, especially like physical silver. Gold almost near its all-time high. Silver massively undervalued. Bitcoin almost near its all-time high. XRP massively undervalued. You know, and so these assets will have their time. And so, you know, accumulate, you know, early on, you know, and make sure you continue to do that. And that's what I'm doing with the lower cap things like silver and XRP, while taking advantage of Bitcoin and a little bit of gold as well.
You got 3 months, guys. 3 months to start getting into crypto. After that, you're the sucker. Okay? I'm just telling you right now. So let's get into some debt news. And of course, Kingdom of Wealth coach is correct. Silver is a steal at this time.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you can now go and mint nodes for $25. You can get Explorer, Blocks, Innate, Grow, Nat G, Aluminum, Black Gold for $25.
They're almost done. The black golds are almost sold out, just so you know. You're gonna be able to get that from what I heard. But yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Well, Mims, you stay on top of this. You know, what would you tell people to do right now? And what are you buying right now?
Yeah, so those of us who know what's going on with the debt box and the value that they bring, this is also something that's going to melt faces. Okay, when we started this live stream, Mike showed a image where a guy is poking Bitcoin when it was doing nothing, and it's like, Bitcoin, do something. Where there are people who have been in debt box and who know about debt box, and after the lawsuit and everything else, and there's some people looking at debt box like, do something. You haven't done anything. And I'm telling you, in the coming weeks and months, debt box and the layer 2 projects and what's to come is going to melt faces. It's going to melt faces. And once again, it's really because people don't understand tokenomics. One thing, people aren't patient. It's mind blowing to me how people have bought into a 401k plan where they told you you're going to work 40 years of your life, okay, for 40% of your income, where 40% wasn't, you work 40 hours a week, and 40% wasn't enough in income in the first place. So, but you bought into the idea that I'm going to invest and I'm going to wait till retirement. And here you have projects like the debt box, right? And the first year, people who don't make money, some people feel some type of way. And I'm telling you that these projects were set up for 2, 3, 4, and 5 year periods to really see the value and what's taking place. And most people have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of times when you're looking at a project, you look at the price of it, and the price is an indication to you of value. I'm telling you right now that that is a false indicator, okay? It can be a false indicator. Yes, when we see something rising, it could be an indicator that it's a good opportunity, a good thing to buy. When you see something not moving, that does not necessarily mean or indicate that that's something that you should stay away from. Get inside the ecosystem of these projects, get inside the community, find out what's going on, what's to come, because it's information that's going to make you wealthy. If you know what's to come before it happens, when it happens, and if you've invested in it, you're going to see massive gains and profits. And that's what's going to happen with the debt box. I'm just telling you right now, a lot of the layer 2s, Debt box is won the lawsuit or winning the lawsuit. They're, from my understanding, they're getting ready to dismiss it. Okay. There's money and control over the ecosystem that the debt box is getting back control over. So we're going to see a lot of movement in these tokens. Okay. The tokenomics have still been working. Understand something. The buy and burn mechanism, people just don't understand. The trust is still buying and the trust is still burning. The halvenings are still taking place. The quarterly quarterlings, like in Bev, are still taking place. The project has not stopped. And in fact, there's some news that's coming out in regards to Ghana. Okay, you guys know we went to Ghana, had a phenomenal time in Ghana. Love Ghana. Got to go back, get some land there. I'm telling you for real. Okay.
Yes.
There's trillions of dollars in assets that we found in Ghana dealing with oil and natural gas. And I'm telling you right now, this information that's going to come out, it's not going to come out from Debtbox saying this. It's going to come from third parties saying, okay? So you can imagine with the SEC lawsuit, and everybody knows about the Debtbox now, they're using it to substantiate their claims against the SEC, like the XRP case and everything else. So debt already has the publicity. And now when the news comes out and people realize what they're doing with the debt chain, layer one and everything else, look, patience, folks. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Patience is hard. You know what I'm saying? Because we want it now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's JG Wentworth or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh. But I'm telling you, just patience is a virtue. Debtbox is definitely one of those projects that has created millionaires and will create even more millionaires. I'm in the ecosystem. We've minted. We're going to be minting more, buying more tokens at these prices. You guys don't understand the prices where these tokens are right now, and the layer twos, version twos, right? And you being able to amass so many tokens is crazy.
Mims, did you want to touch on the Treasury? Or I do have Mike Healy's video picked up or pulled up. I could play a little clip from that, whatever you would prefer.
Yeah, I would say play the clip because Mike Healy, if you guys not following him, definitely follow him on YouTube. He's keeping everybody updated as well on the debt box and what's going on with the ecosystem because they're just passionate about it, just like we are, and they want to see people win. And there's some great news in the Treasury. Once again, it's the numbers, it's the math. When you understand the numbers and the math, and then you understand where the liquidity is coming from, where the money's coming from, and you understand the enhancements that they're making in the ecosystem, it's just a matter of time, folks. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah. And if you guys are in the debt ecosystem, I would highly recommend, if you haven't seen this or heard about it, go to Mike Healy's channel and watch him and Terry break this down. I kind of went to what for me was kind of like the juiciest part. So we'll watch this short clip and then we'll call it a night.
They didn't invent it. Someone else is using it. But it's never been done on a blockchain where all the projects are paired to only one token. And what that does is it means all the other tokens over time will go up about approximately 3 times faster than Detcoin will. Now, in the early days, there will.
So just in case you guys missed that, because I know I'm coming in there, what he's saying is the other projects, Explorer, NatG, Black Gold, will go up 3 times faster than debt because they're all tied to debt. So it's like a whole ecosystem. All right. So as debt goes up, the other ones will go up 3 times as much. So if debt goes up $1 on average, okay, the other tokens in the ecosystem will go up $3.
Will be some selling pressure on those L2 projects so you won't see that 3x pressure right away. But as the token supply continues to burn and burn and burn and burn, and we are about to burn what's in the vault, so that's going to get shrunk down. And I know, listen, let's get the elephant out of the room. A lot of people are like, hey, the trust seems to have disappeared, right? It's not because there's bad news in the background, friends. I'm going to try and choose my words carefully here, right? Because I don't want to misspeak and I don't want to speak on behalf of the Debt Council, although have a lot of communication with them. it doesn't mean I can speak for everything that they say and do. They're too busy for me to hear everything that goes on in their minds. However, you need to trust. There's been a saying in DebtBox forever: trust the trust. You got to trust the trust in this case. That the reason why you've seen it throttled back is for a reason, and that reason is for maximum benefit to the ecosystem. These gentlemen in the Debt Council have put more than a decade of their life towards this. It's their baby. They're going to do everything they can to benefit the ecosystem, right? So just trust that that is happening. And friends, when we can start minting L2 projects nonstop, and they have to go lock up some debt coin, and they have to go lock up some debt coin, and they have to go lock up some debt coin. And then we get this big PR from the judge, and then all of a sudden we got tens of thousands of new users, and they're all locking up debt coin. And then there's still millions of dollars coming in, and all of the supply is locked up in a contract. Friends, it's just supply and demand, right? Like, I'm not predicting it. I'm not telling you. It's not financial advice. It's supply and demand, and it's just math. And it's not hard to see the secret sauce that I'm spelling out for you. I'm telling you, the majority of the supply is already locked, and it's locking up faster and faster. I have a friend the other day said, hey, I checked, I don't know, let's say a week ago, and there's 10,000 more that got locked up on this front, and 10,000 got locked up over here. Friends, the V-Boxes are still rolling out, right? We're going to lock up a lot more debt coin just from that alone. So the whiplash is coming, and there's more I can share maybe if we can. I'm trying to choose what I say and don't say. I do have an NDA, and I'm trying to be
I'm playing the drums, bang your head against the wall like I never did before.
Mims, your take on that, or anything you want to add to it? It's massive.
Yeah, shout out to Terry and Mike and all the work that they do, and shout out to the DebtBox Army, and shout out to the Debt Council. This is some epic times, man. We have been following and winning with this project for some time now, and it's getting better. When he talks about debt tokens being staked, okay, there's only about 50 million debt token, and the same dynamics that get us excited about maybe like even Bitcoin, where there's only so much of it. And what happens when there's more demand for it, because you can stake it and get nodes that are producing NFTs, which are nodes that are producing tokens for you every single day that are backed by commodities that do have a tendency to do a 3x for every 1x, or that token goes up. So what I'm saying is that you have the ability to stake and lock up debt tokens and get a node that's paying you out of cryptocurrencies that's backed by these commodities, and the value of these tokens are going to do way greater in gains and percentage wise than what the debt token is going to do. But when debt token rises, the ecosystem rises. It's just there's dynamics that support each other. It's like it's an ecosystem that just, everything is kind of intertwined and connected, like drip, benefits to grow, and how we have, DCM benefits from NatG, and, everything is benefiting through that, and all that benefits Explore, with the commodities. And so everything kind of just helps each other, win. And so, I mean, look, folks, the fact is people are going to stake debt tokens. There's going to be less debt tokens around. Debt tokens going to continue to rise in value. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to see massive growth in those layer twos. And, it's just a recipe for success. That's really what it comes down to when you just understand the numbers of supply and demand. And that's what they're pretty much saying. Patience, man. It just comes down to patience. Patience. Put yourself in position and just wait. And accumulate more.
So, Mims, fire show. Whatever you guys need, down below in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or wherever you are, reach out to us if you want to know the best place to get gold and silver. We are about to do something in this space that has never been done. Get into our YouTubes. We have a private Telegram group that we can get you into as well. Should I give the people maybe one token to buy, Mims, as we close out? Give a little alpha here. What do you think?
Yeah, go ahead, definitely. And right. Like Mike is saying, while you're pulling that up, the days of overpaying for silver and gold are done. And I'm telling you right now, you have been overpaying. You have been overpaying for silver and gold right now. Okay. Those days are over. So make sure you reach out to us or anybody who might have shared this stream with you. They might be in position as well to help you get precious metals without overpaying. No premiums, no markups. Okay. It's a whole new day. And like Mike said, we're getting ready to do something epic, revolutionary, something that we have never done since we've been in this space. Okay. It's huge. It's huge. Okay.
And
so
let me point out here, guys, this is why I'm like, get into cryptocurrency, learn how to move in DeFi, because you can take your gains from DeFi and convert them into physical gold and silver. So for example, Mims, let's say you were running with the runners and you're in the Telegram group and you see Mike post and he says, hey guys, there's this token called OPSEC that deals with AI. It's only 17 cents. This was a month ago. I put this in the runners Telegram group. It's 17 cents. I'm buying this. Check it out. Do your own research. It's only at that right now, the market cap's only 80 million. At that point, I think it was 20 million. And in 1 month, it went up 363%. That's almost our 4X rule, Mims. We got to start getting back to the 4X rule.
Yeah.
So let's just pretend you put in 100, you made 400. Take 100 of that, buy silver. Take 100 of it, you got your initial investment back. Let the rest ride. You can't lose. Okay. Yeah. From that $100, you took out your initial investment, so you're whole. You got $100 worth of silver, and you still got $200 of OPSEC to let it ride when the market cap's only 80 million. This is why you got to run with the runners, guys. We're giving these out constantly. It's just how much do you have? How much do you want? That's really the only question to ask at this point. How much do you want, and how bad do you want it in the next year as we go into this Bitcoin super cycle? Mims, any last word?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fire, folks. I mean, you know, Mike just showed you a coin that we told our community to get in our private Telegram group. And it did almost 400%. You know, at that point, people might want to take profits, you know, and move it around, like Mike said, and get some silver. Okay. Or get into some other projects. Velocity of money is a real thing. You got to move your money around.
Yep.
You know, and so look, we just getting started, man. I mean, I'm just telling you, we literally just getting started. You know, so we're doing some big things with metals here in the coming days. We're doing big things here with crypto, as you can see, and some other things as well. This is just wealth, opulence of wealth that's taking place for those who want to be operating on that frequency and in that space. While some people want to complain and protest and, you know, riot and, you know, hope the government is going to do something for them, there are people that are taking control of their lives. There are people that are stepping up to the plate, okay, and putting themselves in position. Nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. You've been armed with everything that you need.
Yep.
Ears, eyes, okay, the ability to learn and do. Question is, what you going to do? Run with the runners. Lace up. Let's get wealthy.
Peace, guys. We love you guys. We'll talk.